missed some of you last week, and so what we're going to do is trying to condense part of that lesson, and we'll go over more of it. Let me talk to you before we begin, because we'll do this in English. We have you lost last week, okay, for some of you. Next Wednesday night is to be our last night. I think that will be fine for us to get the lessons in that we need to do and some review. I am available on the last Wednesday night of May, which is like something like the 27th or something, which is the Wednesday night before y'all leave on the 3rd. Would you like to have a session that night just to come in and talk and just review and say, help?
Practice beforehand?
Practice beforehand? Because I'm willing to do it if y'all want to.
I cannot commit to it because we're trying to get the house on the market, and it's.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, so I was saying, we'll talk about it again next week, but just be thinking about that if you want me to do that. Better?
I think that's the 27th.
Yeah, I think something like that. And you don't need to worry about being here, but if you think that would help, then I'll be here, so I should be here anyway. Okay, so we'll be here to say. Okay, we're going to begin with just some pronunciation of letters again, so that you can do it. And these are some letters just on the board so we can review how to say those. Okay. A is going to always be the same, unlike in English, which is impossible. Okay. By the way, what's the most commonly used vowel sound in English? Do you know?
A-I-O-U, is that what you're...
Yeah, vowels are A-I-E-O-U. What's the most common sound, though?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, in English. Do you know? It's think of all the times you really say that's the sound, and it can be spelled all kinds of different ways. Spanish is so much easier. The only sound for this letter is ah. Taco. Repitan. Enchilada. How many A's in that one? Enchilada, see? Okay. The B sound is a B sound, but it's not a B sound. You don't put a lot of force behind it. So just softly whisper in your neighbor's ear. Okay. If you say C before E or I in a sign or in the list that you're going through, that's like an S.
Cielo.
The word for sky is, and heaven is cielo. Cielo, okay? See, in other places is all right? CH, just like you'd expect it to be, except it's a separate letter, is ch, okay? The D is a softer D. Again, you don't get these hard, forceful sounds like we get a little the German influence in our language with forceful sounds. So this is the word for breakfast, we're going to learn in a minute, is el desayuno. Desayuno. This sound is a. And it's almost, it can sound like an A. We tend to draw that A sound out, but it starts out the same way. A. Okay?
It's sort of Canadian sounding.
A little. Yeah. F, just like in English. Okay, no problem with that one. G, if you see it before an E or an I, it's a sound like an H. Okay. Otherwise, it's a D sound. Okay. Sometimes you will, well, I won't deal with that. Okay. I'll deal with it when we come to it later. What's the sound H makes if you were here last week? It's silent.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you, it doesn't make any sound. It's just there. So this is yellow. Okay. All right. All right. I is E. Good. J is just an H sound. K, just like in English. You don't see too many K's in Spanish. Okay. L is like it is in English. okay? Hasta luego. Just the sound. Double L, on the other hand, is like a
Why?
Y as in yellow. Yeah. So that's where you, como te llamas. Como te llamas, which is a double L. M is the same as it is in English, N also. This is N with a tilde. My tilde is a little too fancy. It's
Mañana.
nya.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, okay. Just like in Canyon, because Canyon really is spelled, say, enye, o ene. It has an enye. Yeah. This is like in English, okay. The Q is k, again. And the QU, which is the only time I think you see a Q in Spanish, is always silent. Okay, so if you,
¿Qué pasa? Is just.
¿Qué pasa?
¿Qué pasa?
you're not hearing a U in there. Otherwise, you sometimes, you get it would be slurred, so you'd think it would be kue, but it's not. It's just as if it's not there.
So Q is Q,
Q is Q, just like we
so,
do.
and QU is, then why did he say que pasa?
Because
Shouldn't it be
that spelled K,
So you have the E.
pasa.
Okay.
So it's as
So
if
what's
that, okay. And the spelling of, the reason why that's a spell has to do with the fact that it's got, it is the same E or I kind of thing that works back over here.
All right.
Okay, all righty. So where am I?
R.
Q, Q, Q. We talked about this last week. This is a little, I've lost my word.
Roll.
Roll, thank you, of your tongue. But you don't try, it's nothing to do with your tongue, okay? You just, it's air that's coming up from your diaphragm and passing over, making your tongue. So just, but that's just one, okay, so, okay. ¿Qué quieres? What do you want? ¿Quieres? Which is different, okay? And then this is a big one. Okay. As in ferrocarril, which is a famous word with two double R's, which is a railroad. This is S is, okay. And you will never see an SH, you're never going to get a sh sound, okay. T is a little softer. So if I wanted tea to drink, te, and it's almost, you do the tea like you, say tea like you do in English. I want some iced tea. Tea. Feel where your tea is? Most of you never pay attention to this. Tea. You want to move your tongue back a little bit up, okay, and you get te. 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 All right? You feel it? Okay, that's where you want it. But it doesn't matter if you say te. Okay. What's this again? Ooh. The V and B, you're going to not hear any difference. You're not going to see a V. Okay? So it's like a V. So, okay. W, you're probably not going to run into any words that you're going to be looking at that have W's. Okay, they're barred words normally. Okay.
Barred words, what's this word?
That means it's coming from another language.
You might have a name, Huáscar. I know I've heard the name Huáscar.
Okay, does he spell it with a W? or-
Mm-hmm.
okay.
W-A-S-C-A-R,
Okay, okay.
but
All right.
it's the only one I know.
What's W?
Huáscar.
You heard Oscar.
And Oscar.
Yeah.
Oscar and Huáscar. So
Okay.
two different
that's
ones.
Yeah, I
How
don't
about
know.
NASCAR?
Yeah, that's the only one.
Okay. X can be a X, or it can be a, again, you're not gonna, like the
Oaxaca.
Spanish. is
Mexico. Mexico.
Mexico.
Oaxaca.
Oaxaca, which is one of those, okay. Y has two sounds, it depends on whether it's a consonant or a vowel. If it's a vowel, or the word and, which is all by itself, it's and, it's E, just like the vowel, I, and then it's like the Y that we use, okay. And then the Z is a S. If you look at audio files sometimes when you hear this, and this sometimes sounding like it's TH, you're hearing pronunciation from Spain. Okay, that's Castellano is another way of saying Spanish, but that is the Castilian dialect. Okay, so you hear that people sound like they're talking with a bit of a lisp. Okay, but they're just from Spain. Okay, And you would be understood if you had learned Spanish, and they will understand you anyway. But they can look at you and think, oh, poor thing, has a little problem with their speech. Okay, Brandy is tonight, I have something special for her, but she's not here yet. Okay, what I want us to do is to put those, if you were not here last week and don't have your sheet from last week, let me give that to you,
I have sheet, it's not here.
then I'll give you this.
Thank you.
I expected that.
It's in my mind.
Okay. Very quickly, to practice some of that pronunciation, let's just read, okay, the numbers. And I just have the numbers on here in case you need them. Okay. All right, so, and you're going to read them to me. Gracias.
Dos,
Tres,
Tres. Good. I didn't hear tres. I don't know. Tres.
Trade.
Okay.
tres,
All right.
cuatro,
Let's repeat. Cuatro.
Cinco.
cuatro,
Cinco.
cinco,
Seis.
Seis.
seis,
No, that's not seis. It's seis.
Seis.
It's A, but that goes so fast. A. It's all sound. Seis. Okay.
Siete.
Siete. Repitan. Siete.
ocho,
Ocho.
ocho, nueva,
Is it nueva?
nueva,
Look at it.
nueve,
Nueve. Good. Nueva is new. Nueve is 9. Okay.
10,
Diez.
10,
Yes. Okay.
Once.
Once.
Doce.
Doce.
Trece.
Trece.
catorce,
Catorce. Excellent.
quince,
Look at our rule. Q-U, the U is silent. So what's it going to be? Quince. Quince.
quince,
Quince. Excelente. Repita.
15,
Quince. We're on 16. Who is it?
16,
Dieciséis.
Diecisiete.
Diecisiete.
18.
Dieciocho.
19.
19.
veinte,
20. Notice that how we're spelling it. That diez changed to C when we got it in the middle of a thing, that they have the, that helps you remember that has the same sound when we're spelling it that way. Okay, are we at 20? Did we hear 20? 21.
also 22,
Not B. Look at it again.
B.
B. 22.
ah,
How do you do?
22.
22. You said bien. You said
I
bien.
did. I
Biente.
said what now? Say it one.
You said bien.
Oh,
It's
okay,
B.
okay, I got you.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. All right, we won't go any further on those. Let's do the tens. Okay, let's just pronounce those together. 30 together. 40, 50, 60, 70 together. 80, 90. If it's an even 100, if you're counting, 100. Yo tengo $100. I have $100. Question. David, I see a question on your face.
oh, I see it there. So the O is, I was looking up here, the O is silent in there.
And silent and what?
Cien.
Well, cien, it can be ciento by itself, if it's not an adjective. The number is 100, ciento. Okay. But I have 100 somethings. I have 100 gatos. I have 100 cats.
Could you pronounce
Sorry.
30 again?
30 is 30. Don't try to do that trick. Get that, you can't, it's hard to get 30 out. Hear how tough that is? 30. 30. Make that T soft against your tongue. 30. Your tongue against the roof, right there, right behind your teeth. 30. 30. Much easier, isn't it? 30. Okay. All right, now we want to work with numbers you can play with. Okay, I don't know if you're going to need many numbers or not. You're certainly not going to want 100 eggs. Unless you're cooking, I don't have any extra going to be cooking, so you may.
No, I might.
They might say, we need 30 eggs today.
You know, between his pottery and cooking, we're not gonna get the other work out of him.
I tell you, I previewed, I was telling Christy that I wanted to know a little bit more about, these words I was looking up for cob house construction. So I was watching a cob building being done by a group of kids and teenagers out in California, and I thought, God, I wish I was going on this, I can't, I'm too old to go and risk the altitude, but I thought, that looks like fun.
Play in the mud.
Okay, now we want to look at some food things, and I sent you links last week with some things about some foods and fruits that you are not familiar with at all, that may be there, and you might just want to, because I've looked to see fruits in Bolivia, and I gave you a link for that. I may have the link on here, but I think it may be at the end of this. Let's see. Yeah, typical Bolivian fruits, and there's a whole lot of interesting things on that Bolivia Bay site.
I couldn't get it, it would not, it kept saying this site is down or something like
Well, it
that.
might be. Okay.
So I don't know if anybody else had that.
Okay, so let's just look at the three dinners, okay? 3 meals, I'll get these words out, I'm not thinking English too well today. Breakfast is el desayuno. Muy buenas noches, señora. I'm being sarcastic. It's late enough to be a good night.
You can almost tell even in Spanish.
Okay, breakfast, el desayuno. Okay, and they might tell you la hora del desayuno mañana, the time of breakfast tomorrow is a certain time. Okay. But you don't worry too much about, this is what you got last week. Okay, yeah. Okay, repitan, breakfast is el desayuno. Muy bien. Lunch, el almuerzo. Repita. El almuerzo. Notice that the M-U-E, the U-E gets slurred. Muer. Okay. Dinner, la cena. Okay. Do they eat more at lunch and less at dinner?
Yes, but we will eat more at dinner than at lunch because we'll be on the work site. So we'll
Okay.
probably have light sandwiches
Light
at
sandwich
lunch.
or something,
But
okay.
normally it's big dinner, big lunch, small dinner.
Yeah, that's what is typical, okay. And will they be eating at United States lunchtime or Bolivian lunchtime?
US.
Or US, okay.
They'll change everything for us.
Okay, good.
Except the language.
Because we're looking at lunchtime, it'd be a big deal.
Well, and
Usually,
it may be 2 or
and it's
3 o'clock.
usually about, it's later than noon.
Yeah, much later sometimes.
Yes.
Okay, it's been, at least that's been my experience.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's look at some foods. Okay, las papas. Please don't ask for papas because those are dads and you don't want to. Papas. Mi papá come muchas papas. Okay. Nor do you want to I say I want el papa because you don't need the pope.
So how do you, repeat the por favor.
Por favor. Por favor. You haven't gotten there yet. Here, I'll pop this over again. Okay. All right.
Mrs. Gracias.
De nada, señor. All right. So, and these are things that typically you have. I don't know what happened to my tabbing on this. Rice is el arroz. And you've seen that, arroz con pollo, because you go out and order Mexican food. Okay, arroz. Beans. Frijoles. Corn can be both el maíz. Say it, el maíz. Or el choclo. Okay, I checked with Christy, and they use both. Chicken, you know, because you've used it here, el pollo. Pork, el cerdo,
El Circo.
cerdo. Meat in general, beef, la carne.
La carne.
Cardiac platter.
¿Cómo?
Flex.
Okay. Soup, careful on this one, it's la sopa.
La sopa.
So don't, if you run out of soap in the shower, don't ask for la sopa. Although I have probably heard that before, because they've had other English speakers there. You're not going to shower too often.
And she will go make you soup if you ask for la sopa.
Okay. Fruits, la fruta.
La
Bananas, like you're used to eating, and are going to be la banana. La banana. You may be served plantains, and they're more dessert, or like a sweet, they're cooked sometimes like sweet potatoes too. They're delicious, eat them, okay. A plantain banana, which is a drier, shorter banana, is el plátano.
El
El
plátano.
plátano. Okay. We had them all the time in Costa Rica. They were served just about every meal, and they are delicious. Apple, la manzana. Remember, Z is always like us. Orange, la naranja. Lemon or lime. And this is interesting, because sometimes you don't, there is no difference in those. El limón. El limón.
That explains what happens in Mexican restaurants.
And they're not typically those little tiny things that you buy in the grocery store here, some of them are quite large. Okay, pineapple, la piña.
La piña.
And I won't go into that one, but just be careful if you want pineapple that you say piña or just point, okay. Melon, el melon. El melon. Bread, el pan.
El pan.
Do they use tortillas or anything like that? Do they flatten?
Yep, you can get those.
Okay, so you can see. Toast, which you may have at breakfast, el pan tostado. Bread, toasted bread. Okay, tostado. Butter. La mantequilla. Mantequilla. Egg is el huevo. Huevo. Remember your V is not uva. No, don't see, don't give those teeth, el huevo. Salt, la sal. Pepper, la pimienta. Now, this is black pepper. If you want peppers, a pepper is el chile. It's like el chile. Okay. Do they season foods heavily or?
No, they won't for us.
Okay.
They'll tell us if it's going to be spicy.
Okay. Good. And that you know that one from picante.
Picante.
Sauce. Okay. That's picante.
It's generally not.
Is la pimienta queso, is that pimento cheese?
No.
Okay, just thought I'd try.
I don't know what a pimento is, but
Okay.
it's not, you know.
Yeah.
I don't buy pimentos. I don't
Pepper jack.
get them in the store. Okay. Coffee and café.
Okay,
Tea and té.
Okay.
Sugar and azúcar.
El azúcar.
Azúcar. Milk, la leche.
leche.
So how, what if I want cream in my coffee? Café con leche. Coffee with milk. Okay. You may even get actual cream. Water, el agua. Notice how you kind of swallow that. El agua. You hear that gugga gugga. El agua. Juice is el jugo. So el jugo de naranja would be what? Orange juice. El jugo de manzana would be what? El jugo de limón would be what?
Or
A
lime
little
juice.
tart. Or lime juice.
Or they would also call it limonada.
Limonada, yeah, you get.
Lemonade.
Yeah, lemonade, you get la limonada, so. And will they have a couple of drinks for like soft?
Refresco.
I'm saying, but they will have those?
Yes.
Okay, a refresco. You may want to write that down, refresco.
Refresco.
R-E-F-R-E-S-S-O, R-E-F-R-E-S-C-O,
That's sodas.
refresco. Think about fresca,
If you
that old
want
drink.
sodas,
Refresco.
Coke.
yeah, Coke.
Are you going to ask for a Coca-Cola?
Yeah, or you can say Coke or Sprite or
Sprite.
those words are
Yeah.
universal.
How do you order iced tea?
Té frío.
té frío. Sometimes you get, we'll see té helado.
De helado,
Té
de,
helado.
de helado.
Okay. So if you want something, okay, like if you're at the table and, you know, there's salt or pepper on the table and you want to try out, say, quiero la sal, por favor. Quiero, say this, you can see it right here. Quiero, and then whatever it is, por favor.
¿Cuándo se dice quisiera?
When you're being super polite, and that's a subjunctive form, so I'm just keeping it kind of simple, but quisiera is a very polite way of
In a
ordering in a
restaurant,
restaurant, yeah. It's very nice, you're being very polite to whoever is serving you. And if you're serving, you know, because y'all are cooking and serving, someone might ask you, ¿Quieres más cerdo? Do you want more pork? You know, whatever it is. Do you want is quieres. I want quiero. So we're making that real simple. Okay, because there's enough you're trying to get in your heads, and there's no way you're going to remember it and be able to use all these things. But if you hear some of these things as you've gone over, it's going to make you feel more comfortable. And if you can occasionally use something that will make them feel more comfortable. Okay. Yes, please. What would you think would be what? Sí, por favor. Yes, thank you.
Sí, gracias.
Sí, gracias. No, thank you.
No.
No, thank you.
No, gracias. I put no, thank you, and no, thank you, so it's no, gracias, please.
I was like, is this a trick?
Hey, I got that.
And if you want to check, is it hot, in the sense of being spicy, es picante. If they talk to you, say, cuidado, es caliente, está caliente, you want to say, because that's hot to the touch or hot from the fire. There's a difference between caliente and picante. What do you want to eat? Not do you want something, but ¿qué quieres comer? Repita. ¿Qué quieres comer? What do you want to drink? ¿Qué quieres beber? With?
Con.
Sin?
Without.
Con, repitan.
Con.
Sin?
Sin.
Sin. Okay. All right.
Listen.
Now,
See,
I want you to turn to your neighbor. And first, I want you to pretend you're at the table and you're wanting someone. You want to say, I want such and such, whatever it is. Just pretend they have access to whatever that food is. Talk to your neighbor there.
Go ahead.
Quieres la banana?
Quiero las papas.
what?
I think now you're
Oh, I thought.
No. Where did you get that? And I was going, ask a good question.
Con el café. Sí. Actually, I just.
Okay, it's breakfast. Bastante. Enough. And you may hear bastante on the work site. Bastante agua, no más.
No more water.
Enough water, no more. Okay, because you're going to be adding things in to that mixture. Okay, so let's hear Brandy.
Okay.
I want you to ask Jim what he wants to eat. And Jim, I want you to tell her 2 things, even if you have to lie.
No, I won't be lying. I'm
Okay.
Gina, so we'll-
¿Qué quieres comer?
Quiero el huevo con el café, por favor.
Excellent. Mary Ellen, you and Wayne, we're at,
Yeah,
we're at dinner.
okay. Let me think where dinner is. Wait a minute. Okay. ¿Qué quieres?
Or you just say, ¿qué quieres? What do
¿Qué
you want?
quieres
That's enough.
comer?
Okay.
No, you're
cena?
Yeah, okay. Well, you're asking him, what do you want to eat? So you don't need to ask him this. I'm just telling you what time of day it is, so he can order, he can tell you appropriate food. Okay?
¿Qué
¿Qué quieres comer?
comer?
Mhm.
¿Qué quieres comer?
Quiero el pan, por favor.
You have to tell her at least two things, and that's not gonna be much of a dinner.
Well, I was waiting for the next entry on, all right, now.
I have to say it again.
Good, good.
So, quiero el pan y, ¿qué más? What more?
Quiero, now I'm trying to find something I want.
Just make it up.
Just a, what's dinner?
Yeah, I'm making him look, so.
Okay. Quiero la sopa, por favor.
Pan y sopa. Hey, aburrido. Okay. It's a little bit boring, that's okay. All right.
That is the, have you not had dinner before? In a,
I'm not in a restaurant, I'm in a group here
Oh, we
eating
just
dinner at
had one
Olivia.
too.
Okay, let's see.
Oh, no.
I had to give Wayne a hard time here. Okay. All right, David, eat Jim. You can choose your meal. And just tell us which one it's gonna be. Desayuno, almuerzo,
¿Quieres
la cena.
La cena?
La cena, is it
Cena.
dinner
La
or?
cena.
la cena?
La cena, okay, muy bien. Escuchen, let's listen.
¿Qué quieres comer?
¿Qué quieres comer? I say, quieres, quieres,
¿Qué
quieres.
quieres?
Okay.
Quiero el maíz y el pollo picante, por favor.
¿El qué? ¿Qué?
Yeah, pollo picante.
El pollo picante.
Spicy chicken.
Spicy chicken, me gusta. Okay.
It's not boring.
No, no es aburrido. Jan y Warren, por favor.
Sí.
Choose your meal and order.
Oh,
You're
okay.
the only ones who haven't done it yet.
La cena.
La cena,
La cena.
la cena,
La
ena. C-E is cena, la cena, okay?
Okay, that's my meal. Now I ask something.
Ask him what he wants
Okay.
to eat.
Quiero,
No, you're telling him, you're
Quiero.
asking him. Why don't you ask her?
quieres,
Okay.
Pollo,
okay,
arroz,
okay. Más.
zapatas.
¿Cómo? I didn't hear that last one.
Las papas.
Las papas.
Las papas.
Muy bien. I thought at first you said zapatos.
So did I.
Which is shoes. So I just want to say, oh, just checking.
Be okay, I
Okay,
guess.
so
There was nothing else.
I've eaten some chicken sometimes, it tastes a little bit like zapatos. Okay,
Yep.
all right, yes, well, that's usually what I have. All right. Okay, now you're gonna have to play with those and just look at the things, and you see something that you don't know what it is, ask.
How?
Pull out your sheet.
¿Qué?
K-S.
¿Qué es?
K-S. K-S.
¿Qué es esto?
Or just eat it and hope it's good.
Yeah, I'm all for that, but, you know.
But you said, ¿qué es esto?
Afterwards, if I had it, I want to have it again, I want to know what it is.
Yeah, and particularly those fruits, because
Yeah.
it's interesting looking, and I don't know whether we'll have any of those or
Some
not.
delicious fruits.
I thought those looked quite interesting. Okay, now, I want to go back over, let me see what time it is. Those of you who were not here last week and didn't do the places, okay, We skipped, none of us did foods last week. Because food, I thought, is something you probably need, you know, something, you know, just so you feel a little bit more at ease about what the things are. We'll come back and review, for those of you who were here last week, the places and directions as to where things are and where things might be, because when you're working on the construction site, you may need to know those. So come on in, do you need something?
Delivery.
Oh, delivery service. And where's her tip?
Por favor.
Where's her tip?
Gracias.
She went to Pollo.
Don't pet her.
Oh, did you go to Pollo Tropical? ¡Ay, qué bueno! Muy bien.
You wanted spicy chicken.
I see chicken.
Pollo picante?
Maybe.
All right, so I want to give you another sheet, but before we do that, well, this is just for Senora Honeycutt. Take one and pass it around, and we're going to sing a little song in Spanish.
I need to know.
And it's
Yes,
going to be
because this-
recognizable when we sing it?
Well, yes, it is. We're going to, if I can sing, because I've got so many
Practice out.
allergy problems at this point. But this is Jesus Loves Me in Spanish, and we are not singing it word for word. Recognize that if you are going to do music in another language, you have notes, you have words, and believe it or not, they're supposed to fit together for those who are not musical. And you want it to have some bit of rhyme. And so let me just read what these, I'm going to read, and this is just that first stanza and the chorus, all right? Cristo me ama, bien lo sé, repitan. Cristo me ama, bien lo sé, and this is what it's saying. Christ loves me, I know it well. Well, I know is the order that you're actually saying it. Su palabra me hace ver. Su palabra me hace ver. His word makes me see. Que los niños son de aquel. Que los niños son de aquel. Quien es nuestro amigo fiel. ¿Quién es nuestro amigo fiel? So, in that, let me put that whole stanza together. Christ loves me, I know it well. His word makes me see that the children are of that one who is our most faithful friend, or who is our faithful friend. So, not like it's got the same feeling, all right? And then, si Cristo me ama, si Cristo me ama, si Cristo me ama, si Cristo me ama, la Biblia dice así. The Bible says so, okay? So, shall we sing? We shall. So, you should know better than to ask questions. Okay, I would, good. Start us off so it's out in a single tune.
Cristo me ama, bien lo sé, su palabra me hace ver que los niños son de aquel, quien es nuestro amigo fiel. Si Cristo me ama, si Cristo me ama, si Cristo me ama, la Biblia dice así.
You sing so much better than you speak. Do you know that is universally true? It's much easier to sing in a foreign language than it is to speak, because we get all nervous when we speak and we relax a little bit when we sing. Is that not so, Senor? Do you relax when you sing? Do you relax when you sing? Are you more relaxed when you sing?
Well, why don't you set all this music for us and we'll be okay.
Ay de mí.
We can sing for our dinner.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 y más. She's a lady after my own heart. Okay, now let's go to work. Words connected with building cob houses, casas de cob. Cob. We're just gonna ask Christy, I got here tonight. Cob. And have all of you looked at a video or something for cob houses being made? Seen those? Have you seen one? Yeah, they're fun. Like so much fun. Okay, so here's some tools you're gonna need. And we can put these together with where is, donde está, I need, I think I have that down here, necesito, may not, I will give it to you later. I'll give it to you next week, there'll be odds and ends next week, okay? And I can tell you where it is, or someone said, do you need, or I need more, etc., etc. Okay, so shovel, la pala.
La
La pala, is that the word they use for shovel? Okay. Any of these that I got wrong, but these tools, appliances, vary from country to country a lot.
Yes.
Okay. A stick, because you're going to punch holes, so things are going to dry. You got la pala, you got el palo. El palo. So if someone brings you a pala, instead of the palo you thought you were asking for, you said, oh, no, el palo, por favor. Or go look for your own.
Why would we want a stick?
A pickaxe, which you may need. We don't know whether you will need it or not. Two words I saw for this, el pico.
That's the one I've heard the most.
Okay, so I just learned that one then, el pico.
Pico de gallo is what?
Go
Pickaxe.
Bite. Okay.
Pieces.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think a piqueta may be a smaller, because you have those small pickaxe things instead of the big ones. Okay. You have the next word, which we call a machete. It's going to be a what? Machete. You're not going to give her a sh sound.
Machete.
Okay. Soil, earth, dirt. El suelo. Is that what they use mainly, or la tierra, or
La
something different?
tierra, el suelo is, I know, is the ground.
Yeah.
And
It can also be soil, and so I wasn't
Yeah.
sure. So just
either of those two words will work. It just
Yeah.
means the base or the ground is suelo.
yeah, you're gonna. I'm not sure where you're gonna do all your work. But, they're probably going to have a dirt pile, or you're going to make piles. So I didn't see that part of the construction. Mud, el barro, or el lodo.
Lodo is what I've
Lodo.
used.
Okay, so again, you got a pencil mark through the other ones that they don't use as much. El lodo is mud.
At least that's what I called it, and they completely understood me, so.
Okay, that's good. I've seen both.
Okay.
Okay.
I've never heard of El Barro. And they may have called it that, and I just didn't know what they were talking about. And when I said Lodo, they started
Yeah,
using that
yeah.
word. I don't know.
You hear that a lot from people who are from Mexico, I think.
Okay.
Okay. Sand, la arena.
La arena.
La arena. Gravel, la grava. I want you to add a one kind of long in that area. La piedra. Piedra. La piedra is a stone. Okay, la piedra. Stone or a rock, you get the idea of the history of Pedro, Peter. Stone, the rock. Okay. Straw, which you're going to need, very important. La paja. 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 Okay. A wheelbarrow, this is a little hard to say. Okay.
It's very literal.
That is exactly right. La carretilla de rueda.
La
La carretilla
de
de
rueda.
Rueda is wheel, okay. And a carretilla is a little cart kind of thing. It rolls along, so la carretilla is just one wheel. Okay. La carretilla de rueda. Okay, now this, we needed something to be able to say to smooth it out, okay? So what you're going to do with these mounds of things you're mixing up is at a certain point, you don't want them all lumpy, and so they need to be smoothed out. So we're going to put together some words. Surface is la superficie. La superficie. And smooth can be liso
Liso.
or suave.
Suave.
Suave can also mean soft, but this is, it can be smooth, so they
I heard
use
liso more.
liso is probably going to be understood better, so let's make that.
Suave is more like gentle, is
Yeah,
what I hear them
gentle,
use.
soft, or, you know, and making it, you know, like smoothing out wrinkles and.
Liso they'll say is like slippery, slick,
Slippery,
like on the
slick.
floor also, they'll say the floor is
Yeah.
very liso.
Yeah. It's amazing when you start thinking about, well, we'll do it on the next one. Hole. Okay, you're going to make holes in these mounds as you stack them up to dry so that they're going to dry better. Okay, so the air circulates. But they're not going to be, so let's mark through this first one that says agujero. That's a hole all the way through something like the eye of a needle. Okay, it's a hole. It's a piercing thing. Where hoyo is what you're going to make little hoyos with a stick, which is a what? El palo. Okay. So ustedes van a hacer hoyos con un palo. You're going to make holes, cavities.
Yeah.
Some people, the video I watched, they were making it with their fingers.
Mhm.
But then you have little fingers and you have big fingers, so. All right, so, el hoyo. Water is el agua. Which we talked about back earlier. You're going to use your hands a lot. So, las manos. Las manos. One of them is just la mano. Okay, and you notice that breaks the rule. It's normally O ending words are masculine. Mano happens to be feminine. If you need a finger, okay, I didn't know at that point, okay, so that's el dedo, a digit, okay, dedo, and feet, el pie, los pies, okay. But y'all are going to be mixing, I think, with shovels rather than with your feet. It'll be more fun with your feet.
I know.
Yeah,
We might stomp on them with our boots, but
yeah,
they were mixing with shovels.
yeah, okay, all right.
Pots.
So these are some instructions you may hear. These I want you to be able just to hear and understand rather than be able to say them, because you're not going to be bossing each other around. So mezcla, and I have them in columns. They're commands or instructions that you give to one person. They're going to be different from those that you hear to a group. So if they're talking to just you, it's going to be mezcla for mix. You're going to be mixing things. If they're talking to the whole group, it's going to be mezclen. Mezcla, mezclen. Okay. And these are some things you might be mixing. El agua y la tierra. Mezcla todo.
Everything.
Mixing everything. And mezcla los ingredientes. Los ingredientes. Okay. Okay, so you're going to make the surface smooth. You're going to smooth it out. So, and just listen, you don't need to repeat these. Haz la superficie lisa. Haz la superficie lisa. You're not going to say suave. Okay, and if it's for all of y'all, hagan la superficie, la superficie lisa. Okay, por favor. You should say por favor. Okay. Pon is put to one person, pongan if it's more than one person. So, put it here. What do they call those mounds? El Or
El
la?
cob.
El cob, okay. So put it here, ponlo aquí, put it there,
O la masa.
or la masa. Yeah, so pon la masa, pon el cob, whatever word they use. You'll either ponlo or ponla. If you got a bunch of them, ponlos, ponlas. If you're talking to the whole group, ponganlos, ponganlas. So you'll hear those and you'll get used to just hearing, just so that you cut the straw, because that's what you're going to be cutting with the machete. Okay, so be careful. You don't want to cut the dedo or the PA or the dedo de PA, which is both. Alright. So corta la paja, okay, or corta la paja. Add more, whatever it is, okay. Agrega más, agreguen, and that's just a little spelling rule. I made it when I realized when I glanced at it. Without the U in there, it would be agreguen. So it's agreguen más, whatever it is you're going to add. You need more, necesitas más, necesitan más. That's enough, es bastante, no más, no more. Okay. So we're going to kind of put those together in situations next week and kind of pull together odds and ends. And then we're going to, for those of you who came in a little bit late, for those of you who wish to do so, the last Wednesday night in May, the Wednesday night before y'all leave for Bolivia on the following Wednesday, the first Wednesday in June. I've changed as we talk.
Okay.
Okay. If you feel like you feel odds and ends, last minute questions, little last minute practice, we'll say that last Wednesday night in May. I think that'll be more useful to you. And we will not add anything new except odds and ends things. We're going to kind of pull these things together next week and just practice with something. All right?
Muchas gracias.
De nada, estudiantes buenos. Estudiantes maravillosos. We don't need to pray before you leave.